Support for If You Lived Here comes from
The Ewan Foundation, committed to bridging cultural differences within the greater Washington, D.C. community.
And now, If You Lived Here, a WETA original series.
Hi, I'm John.
I'm Christine. We're producers at WETA and Best Buds.
We love living in the DMV, and finding a place to live here can be exciting and challenging.
Join us as we tour 3 homes at 3 price points.
And try to guess the listing price without going over.
And find out what it would be like
If you lived here.
Hi there.
Hi, John and Christine. So nice to meet you in person.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the heart of Kensington.
I gotta tell you, I had to pull this one away from Antiques Row.
It's true.
That's a common occurrence.
But if I'm going to be pulled away from antiquing, this is a great place to be pulled away to.
You're kind of in the heart of Kensington. As you know, up the street, Antiques Row, but there's also other shops in there. So it's our commercial area, but also our historic section. So we have shops, restaurants, our train station, built in 1894, but beautiful houses right behind us that date back to that time frame as well.
So I've heard that this fountain and this park are special to you.
I do love this park and this fountain a lot. A bunch of us got together and we decided to raise some funds and we put this in, and now, you know, it's a focal point of the community.
And you've lived here for a while.
Yeah, I lived here almost 30 years. I raised my 4 kids here, and they love it, and some of them still live here. We have 3 great houses to show you today, all like a good representation of the different type of houses you can get in Kensington. Ready to go?
Yep.
Ready to go. We
Let's
love a
go.
good tour.
Okay. Welcome to Nimitz Road in North Kensington. We're less than a mile from downtown Kensington and the fountain.
Sure.
This is a great house, built in 1947. Cape Cod style, redone in beautiful condition.
You know, what I love about this, it really has a small town village feel.
It's not the hustle and bustle of other areas. We're so close in, but it's a small town in a lot of ways. Have fun.
Thank you. All right.
Oh, okay. Beautiful staircase right here.
It is. So your first inclination is you're either going to go right up the steps,
Yep.
or you're going to flow into the dining room.
Why don't we flow
Let's
into the
flow
dining room?
dining room.
Good place to start.
So this is very much the Cape Cod layout I was envisioning,
Sure is. And this is a good-sized dining room.
but open at the same time.
You know what I think helps it feel open is this staircase, because I don't know if there was a wall here before, but it also opens up the space on this first floor.
It does, and I bet they put in the iron.
Yeah, this is
Right.
definitely new, and it's very nice.
It's very nice. And speaking of very nice, this kitchen tile.
Oh, that is a beautiful design choice for this house. If you took the floor away, you would have a very nice black and white kitchen. With the floor, you've got va-va boom.
You know, and leaning up against this countertop,
Yep.
I'm not quite sure what kind it is. It's got a little bit of a texture to it.
You know, I think that's granite, but it's honed and not polished.
Oh.
So they give it a little texture,
okay.
and I like the feel of it.
So do I.
It's almost like that soapstone we saw. Well, the thing that we also have to note is all these great windows looking out at the adorable backyard.
And there's more house to see.
More house to see.
All right, so we have a full bath.
Okay, with the shower.
Right, and you know, if you're aging in place, that's the type of shower you want. Just a simple walk-in.
Yeah, you don't need a tub.
No, no.
And speaking of aging in place, corner bedroom.
And it's nice, light, and bright.
So this is the perfect place to age in place. Bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, dining room, and living room. Well, this brings us full circle.
It does, or full square. Look at these floors,
I like these floors.
okay? I have a feeling that these are the original floors,
Yeah.
but during that time period, they would have been stained dark. But when they refinished them, they left them light, and I really like it because you can see kind of the fun imperfections, the knots. I think it gives it so much more character.
Yeah, I prefer this color, and it is kind of a little bit more modern to go with the rest of these modern touches that have been put up.
It does fit with what they've done in the house now.
Yes.
All right.
Hey, have we mentioned this gate?
Isn't it cute?
Perfect for babies, dogs.
Do you hear the squeak in these steps?
That's some good squeak.
You know those are original to the
Yeah,
house.
they are. Okay, left or right?
Oh, I'm ahead
I think
of
we're
you.
going left. So this must be the main bedroom. I love how they put these drawers into this dead space, and they even put a closet in here. All right,
important.
this house gets better and better all the time.
So next room.
Another bedroom.
Okay.
Adorable. Huh. I thought we would see a bedroom the same size.
I know, I was
as the other
thinking the
one.
same thing. But that means that the steps aren't at the center of the house.
So they sacrificed space on this side of the house for that nice bedroom on the other. Good choice.
Makes sense. Okay, so I'm guessing bathroom.
The bathroom. So we've seen 3 bedrooms, and this is the second full bath.
Spacious.
Very spacious, and a window in every single room.
Downstairs?
Downstairs we go. Oh, this is nicely finished.
Yeah. These are these spaces that you can use them really for whatever you want.
And they are
Yeah.
family room, office,
Office.
lots of space.
And then over here.
Cute little
yeah.
playroom, and it looks like a full
Another-
bathroom.
Yep.
They packed a lot into this little house.
They did pack a lot in this little house.
And in addition, there's a nice backyard, and that's where we're gonna go meet Mark.
Let's go.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Hi. How did it go?
It's just delightful.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, because you walk in, you can see, the renovations that have been done, but the flow from the dining room to that kitchen.
And that wall was most likely knocked down. At one
Okay,
point, it was
that
a
would make
little
sense.
entryway,
To open it up.
but everybody now likes them opened up, and I'm sure that's what they did, and
Right.
what a difference it is.
Well, the first floor flow in itself is just perfect. And I think also the color palette,
Yeah.
like the black, the white, the wrought iron, the wood tones, those great wood floors.
Those are original wood floors,
Yes,
which are
sir.
really stunning.
And those squeaky steps on the way down.
That's called character.
That's what you call an alarm system.
I'm never sneaking out of this house.
Some of the post-war capes didn't have a bathroom up top.
Yeah.
So you have 2 great bedrooms, but no bathroom. This has the bathroom up, which is a big plus.
And that was a big bathroom.
Yes. So the recap is 3 bedrooms, 3 full baths, approximately 1,300 square feet on the top 2 levels, and built in 1947. The house is really close to downtown Kensington. You can walk in 5 minutes to the MARC train and only 10 minutes to the Metro stop.
That's great.
Wonderful
That
location.
is a great
Yeah.
location. We'll let John go first.
I think I'm gonna go first today, and I have a number in my head. I'm going to give you a guess, Mark, of 600,000.
600.
Confidence.
I'm going to come in at 560,000.
You both did well.
Okay.
575.
I missed it by that much.
And honestly, I was teetering back and forth.
Ready to see a great number 2?
Yes, more of
Okay,
Kensington.
let's go.
We'll follow you.
One of the things about Kensington that's unique, and I'm sure every town believes they have their own unique character, is that we're kind of sort of an enclave amid a lot of development and a lot of hubbub. Kensington started as a vast tract of farmland, and a gentleman named Brainerd Warner came in and wanted to build a community that was a getaway from Washington, D.C., a summer resort. And he purchased the land with the specific idea of setting up a Victorian-era garden community. He wanted to make a distinction with Washington, D.C.'s grid network. He wanted to have wide, curvilinear streets that sort of reflected what he had seen in Kensington, England. One of the most prominent features you'll see in the town is the Warner Mansion. So when Warner moved in, the manor became really the center of social life. It's said that Warren G. Harding actually attended a party there. It was really the center of gravity. All the roads and the entire geometry of the layout centers around the Warner Mansion. So one of the major contributions that Warner made to the town is the Noyes Library. His best friend, Mr. Noyes, donated the books, he donated the land, and they created the library.
So Noyes Children's Library was founded in 1893, part of the origin story of Kensington, basically. When Noyes first was founded, it was a subscription library. It cost $1 a year to subscribe, and local residents could read, they could meet, they could enjoy social time there, and it really became a cornerstone of the early town of Kensington.
The Noyes Library for Young Children is the oldest library in the D.C. metro area. It's older even than the Library of Congress's first public reading room. So it's one of only 8 children-only libraries in the country. It's a nice, small space, and a lot of people that come in ask, was this a house at one point? And no, it's always been a purpose-built library, but it does have that look of a house.
Children noticed right off the bat the owl above the sign. And they, get it to go in under the owl and then enter their world of storybooks.
One day, a red...
I would say one of the things that's really unique here is just the amount of story times that we offer here at the library. You'll see these children who will come into this charming old library. They look around. Everything is just the right size for them. Everything is designed with them in mind inside. And their eyes will just light up with joy and excitement as they realize they've come to a space for them. And to me, that's really what makes this library so special.
Mark, are you sure there's a house here?
I promise you. Follow me.
This is like going into a secret garden. This is awesome.
This is like a private oasis in the town of Kensington, in the historic district, and the house was built in 1909. So it's one of the original probably 20, 30 homes in the town.
So is a lot this size typical?
So this is a double lot, over 16,000 square feet. What you're seeing here is very unusual.
Wow.
This is huge. Look how far back it goes.
Are you looking at the back 40 there? Or?
And guys, you have a garage/barn here. The original house was smaller. There were some additions, and there's some stonework that is pretty unusual in Kensington.
Okay.
And then there's an addition on the top of the original stone addition. There's things you can and can't do with the property because it's in the historic district. So for instance, there's 11 windows in the house that you can't get rid of.
Rule number 1, you can't touch the windows.
I'm not going to touch the windows.
We'll have to kick you out.
Okay. See you in a bit.
All right.
Oh, okay. So we're in the original part of this 1909 house.
So you know this was the original because look at this pine flooring.
Yeah. A lot of good detail. Nice fireplace built in. And look what these are, the windows we cannot touch. So from classic to more contemporary.
Exactly.
Okay, dining room.
Yes.
Good space.
And obviously an updated kitchen over the years.
Yeah, probably done a couple decades ago, don't you think?
Well, I think that's the beauty of something like this. You can kind of come in, re-envision it, but it functions as is.
Oh, but I have lots of plans for this one. So let's go check out this stonework and what would be the first addition to this home.
Oh, and look, more stone.
More stone.
Okay, it's nice to know there's a full bath on the main level.
First full bath, and then into what would be...
I would almost use it as an extra bedroom.
Sure could. This could be the main bedroom, or a guest suite, or maybe a den.
Oh, you know what? With this stonework, I think I would like it more as a den.
But you know what I noticed? It's got one of these half doors.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
Do you remember Mr. Ed?
Oh,
when
yeah.
you opened up the door, he was always like right there.
Yeah, he'd pop his head through and be like, hello, Wilbur.
That's what it reminds me
I
of.
love Mr. Ed. I used to watch that all the time.
All right.
All right.
Shall we continue?
Up we go.
Okay.
Tina, I love these stairs and these windows. Look.
Those windows are really breathtaking.
So far, I think this is my favorite feature of the house.
Well, obviously this has been redone. Do you
Yeah.
think they were this wide?
I have no idea. I sure do like it, though.
But we do know that this is the original part of the house
Yep.
because these are the original pine floors.
Yep.
Okay.
But let's head to the back.
All
to
right.
The addition. Wow, this ginormous room.
Okay. So there is absolutely no question. This bedroom is all about the windows.
Look at this view of the garden below and
Right.
a canopy of trees.
If you're gonna have a beautiful lot like this, take advantage of it, and this is the best way possible.
It's gorgeous, Tina. This little half wall, I think would be a little sitting area, a little TV area.
No, I agree.
Probably isn't necessary.
Yeah, I would still take this room in a heartbeat.
Yeah, just pound this out. All right.
Okay, so let's keep moving. Oh, right around the
Okay.
corner, we have our ensuite.
Main bathroom.
Yeah, so not a double vanity, but you know, a nice big sink.
Nice big shower. All right.
So another full bath.
That's another full bath. So that's the third full bath.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Washer and dryer.
Always a plus.
Into what is probably bedroom number 3, if we count that one downstairs
Right.
as a bedroom.
Yep.
And this is the original part of the house, and it feels that way. Even looking at the windows, again, these are windows you don't touch, right?
You know, I just love the whole design of these windows, and I guess knowing that they're part of history too.
Yeah, well, this was probably the owner's bedroom back, in the day.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Well, that was a very fun tour.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
How was tour number 2?
Oh, great. But now we are again in a lovely courtyard area.
I love a house that has like a story and a lot of flavor.
Walking through this, I think you can feel the history of multiple families living here.
You know, it was kind of a discovery in each room that you went into.
Yeah. Ready for a recap?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 bedrooms, 3 full baths. Approximately 2,500 square feet on the 2 levels.
Okay.
And built in 1909, so one of the original homes. You're in the historic section. You can walk to the MARC train from this house as well.
So question, is there a basement?
There is a basement, and it's almost like an old cellar, you know, from a 1909 house.
I so wish you were going first.
I'm so glad you're going first.
I know. Well, you know, it's this lot that is really kind of...
It's the wild card.
All right, I'm just going to go 999,000.
Okay. John?
I will do a 900,000.
You were so close. The list price is $997.
So close. You were so...
God.
You get brownie points.
Thank you.
Definitely get
I'd
brownie
rather have
points.
brownie points.
You have 1 win, and I have 1 win.
Right.
And we have 1 house to go.
And we're on our way to house number 3.
Let's go through the back garden
Let's
gate.
go this way.
All right.
Okay.
We're in the community of Kengar, which is located in Kensington, Maryland. The Ken is for Kensington, and the Gar is for Garrett Park because it's situated between the two. It's the small little 7 streets that make up 110 families in the community of Kengar. My father was known as the mayor of Kengar. I was Mayor Junior. My father grew up here, and he always loved Kengar. My mother used to even say he loved Kengar more than he loved her. I guess I inherited that love, too. Kengar was established by maids and butlers who worked for the people in Kensington because they were senators, congressmen, people who considered Kensington as more or less a country place, so they needed people to work. When I was coming up, our needs were all met in Kengar. We made our own parks, had our own fun, and everybody was just family. Even though I don't live in Kengar anymore, I still feel like I am part of Kengar.
We are standing in front of a mural that was commissioned by the town of Kensington in tribute to the community of Kengar, which was started a couple of years before Kensington. This project was really a tribute and a way to bring those communities awareness about each other and to give the due of respect to the community of Kengar. And I tried to find people from the community who come out and talk about their stories, their experiences of living there and growing up there. And one of the themes that kept coming through in those conversations was that theme of the endurance of the human spirit. I decided to use the Hold Your Light African American spiritual as a symbol of that endurance. Each of the structures that are depicted have a lantern or a light on the front. And at the end of the project, different residents from Kengar came out and lit each lantern with a glow-in-the-dark paint, furthering that theme of holding your light and passing it on to others.
I just happened to come through one day and Nicole was here. She didn't know me until I introduced myself, and she said she'd heard about me. And she said, would you like to paint one of the lanterns? It's a good thing to connect the town and Kengar together as a community.
Whoa, that's some driveway.
Ooh, that was a trek. I feel like I need like a walking stick and a sheep.
Some people pay to exercise that much.
Okay, so here's my question. Are we still in Kensington?
We are. We're in the Rock Creek Hills section of Kensington, which is closer to Bethesda and close to Rock Creek Park. Big lots, beautiful homes, and this home is really a unique house you're gonna see.
This feels like the park right out front.
It is. You'll notice there's a creek in the front.
Yeah.
You can see it from the house. That's Rock Creek. You're just steps away from Beach Drive. Yeah. So you could walk to Beach Drive or bicycle and go all the way downtown. This was built in 1960, and it's mid-century modern style. We don't have a lot of that in Kensington.
Calm down, pace yourself. This is the most mid-century guy you're ever gonna be.
I do love it.
Well, I think you're gonna see a unique house. I mean, notice the woodwork, it's teak wood. It's amazing.
Calm down, calm down.
I mean, it's both inside and outside the teak. It's amazing.
I don't know why we're still talking to Mark. Let's get
Bye, Mark.
going.
We're gonna get
Bye. See you guys later.
We'll find you somewhere.
How cool is this door handle?
I love this door.
Well, right from the start, it looks like this house has a lot of its original character intact.
Oh my gosh, the details of a mid-century modern hit you as soon as you walk through this door.
They're all around us. Look at this great entry with this staircase.
Oh, the slate flooring.
Yeah, nice
Okay.
slate.
And my teak. I see the teak already.
I see the teak. Let's go explore.
Look at this beautiful room.
This is gorgeous. You've got these wall-to-wall windows, floor to ceiling, really.
This is just such a four-season home.
Where do we start?
Well, I'm gonna start with this teak tongue and groove paneling. That is gorgeous.
On the walls and the ceiling.
Okay, can we talk about that ceiling?
Yeah, sure.
So I don't know how you would describe it because it's almost like a partial tray.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
like a three-quarter tray. It's just missing a side.
I just love the architectural design of it.
It's very groovy. Love it.
Okay, so let's talk about this view. You know, we are up on the hill.
We are.
And around it is a beautiful wraparound deck. Oh, and when I say wraparound, it goes all the way back.
Well, a house like this, you need a deck like that, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, well, take a look at this statement piece. This is a beauty.
Yeah, do you think it's, dare I say, too much?
No, this
Okay.
is great. It's quintessential mid-century modern, and with this natural stone and the wood, it's just lovely.
Let's continue.
Dining room next.
And we have a new element to add.
Yes, brick.
And here's a map of Rock Creek Hills.
Rock Creek Hills, if you lived here, you'd be home right now.
So there's gotta be a kitchen.
The kitchen.
All right, galley style.
Yeah, very typical for mid-century modern homes. So you have a little workspace back here, and actually a little screened-in porch back
That's
here.
pretty. But I'm also looking at the ceiling because that same architectural detail was carried through, which really is pretty.
So I actually like that this kitchen looks like it does, and I don't think I would do much to it. I might replace the countertops.
Oh, and a cute little breakfast room.
Wow, it's so cute. It has everything you need. You have a little serving area over there, windows. And actually, there's a flow from the kitchen out to that porch and to the carport.
All right, so down the hall.
Nice gallery space here.
All right, and here we have our first bathroom, first half
Oh,
bath.
this is a nice warm vibe for a half bath.
I think it is because the height,
Yeah.
and it carries through the teak on the ceiling.
So every single room so far has had this teak detail. All right. Hey!
Okay, so first bedroom. I really like the light fixture. It's pretty cool.
I do too.
You have that beautiful big window and the deck. Deck and the view.
Dynamite. Hey, I think we found the primary bedroom.
No, I don't think we found a primary bedroom. I think we found a retreat. So the entire design of this home just carries throughout. You've got the teak and a brick wall. I wouldn't have thought that in the bedroom, but obviously it works in this home.
What I appreciate are these built-in shelves, and you can see at the bottom, at one time, they would have had LPs.
Wait, turn around. I mean, this wraparound deck again.
Whoa.
It's the whole side of the house.
You can step right out here and have your morning coffee.
See, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to leave this room.
Okay, let's head down here because I think this is the suite part of the primary suite.
Ooh, look at this shower. I just think it is so cool looking.
Yeah.
I mean, you just walk right in. It's so spacious, and I just like the design of it.
Yeah, but then you have this ginormous jacuzzi. I mean, that jacuzzi is mammoth.
That's a lot of jets, okay? All right, so before we go downstairs, can we just have a little banister talk?
Yeah, this is spectacular.
I've never seen a banister with this design. It's like a trough.
I love the metalwork to it too. Okay,
I know. We
slate
gotta
stairs.
talk about these
Are you
stairs.
kidding me? Very cool. Oh, but this level, it's got plenty of light.
Well, I think that is the beauty of this lower level because
Yeah.
it's not below ground.
It is not. The views from upstairs were one thing. You felt like you were taller up in the trees. Now down here, it's a whole different canopy. You know, it's just gorgeous.
Ooh, I love canopy.
Yeah, you're down in the, yeah.
You know, I'm noticing they've got yoga gear over here.
They do.
I can't imagine a better spot to do yoga than this space right here.
I think it's just part of the
Yeah,
general
no,
vibe
it's
of this
true.
house.
It's
and
true.
no wonder. you know?
Right. Well, I mean, what a great rec room and other possibilities, too.
Okay, let's check what is over here. Wow, another impressive fireplace, if I do say so.
But, you know, the room is so big
Yeah.
that it's not like it overpowers it.
Oh, it doesn't. But I love the way it looks.
All right, so this would be a bedroom, but, you know, they're using it as a home office. I would love this as an office space.
Office or bedroom. And wet bar.
Always handy.
Okay, another bedroom. So this is bedroom number 4.
Okay, I'm glad.
Okay, and we have a bathroom.
Okay, so this would be the second full bath.
Second full bath.
And I would say it was probably updated, I'm gonna say around the 80s.
I agree, just looking at that tile. Okay, well, it's moving ready.
Yeah, and you know, down the road you can freshen it up if you want.
Absolutely. Okay, Tina, this must be the 5th and final bedroom in the house.
Ooh, but this is not like a lower level bedroom.
Dare I say I think I like this bedroom best?
Yeah, I mean, the upstairs one was the retreat, don't get me wrong.
Yes, that primary bedroom is nice.
Yeah, and this one has its own retreat feel to it.
I think it's the lights and the beautiful yard that makes this a really wonderful room. What do you say we head upstairs?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, guys.
That was an amazing house.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it?
I just have one word, teak.
Lots of teak. Isn't it great how it goes from the outside to the inside?
And yet it carries all the way through the home.
Yeah.
Yeah, these soffits are really cool.
Yeah.
But can we talk about this deck?
How much deck is there in this house?
There's over 1,000 square feet of decking.
1,000 square
1,000.
feet.
So can you imagine summer, spring, fall?
I can imagine
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Okay. House built in the Rock Creek Hills section of Kensington. 5 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 1 half bath, and about 3,500 square feet. Over 1 acre, built in 1960. Are you ready?
Yeah, I know. That sounds confident, doesn't it?
I don't
No,
feel
I
confident
think-
about
I think
this one.
with-
This is hard.
Well, I think it's the lot.
And the proximity to Rock Creek Park.
Yes, there's a lot of things to think about.
And it's a fabulous house.
Well, that too. I'm gonna come in at 1.699.
Okay.
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 Mark, I am going to go lower at 1.5 million.
Okay. Ready for the actual price?
I was born ready, Mark.
$1,399,000.
Oh! We're both over. That's a bargain.
It is.
Thanks for showing us 3 great homes, Mark. I mean, they were all wonderful. This was the cherry on the cake, though.
But we also got to learn so much more about Kensington, which I didn't know a lot about. So we thank you for that,
It's a great
too.
community.
It
really
is.
Want to get some of the best pizza in the DMV?
Darn
Oh,
tootin'.
sounds good.
Let's go to Frankly Pizza.
All right.
On me.
He felt bad for us because we both lost.
Pretty much.
If you lived in Kensington, a great day here would be spent going through the different shops and looking at all the really fine and interesting items, having lunch at one of the small family-run cafes and restaurants we have here, and then strolling around seeing the great Victorian houses.
If you lived here, you'd know that this is a community full of public art and interesting people doing interesting things.
If you lived here, you would definitely get to know your neighbors.
If you lived here, you would see what I see, a vibrant community, a close-knit community that is enriched by its own history.
It's a wonderful place to live.
To find out more about living in the Washington metro area, visit WETA.org/if you lived here. Support for If You Lived Here comes from
The Ewan Foundation, committed to bridging cultural differences within the greater Washington, D.C. community.